Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Bhadram Karnevihi Shruniyama Deva Bhadram Pashe Maksha Viryajatrah Stirairangaihi Tushtuvagam Swastanubihi Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedah Swasti nastaksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om. Last time, what did we do up to? 2.9?
Yes.
Yeah, 2.9, I think we. So in 9, we say, Indrastvam Prana Tejasa Rudrasi Parirakshita. Parirakshita is the protector. So we say the three aspects of the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, as such, are the creator, sustainer, or protector, and the destroyer. So here, the prana is being seen as the very aspects of the Trinity. And what are this Trinity? What do they represent? They represent the very gunas. So when we talk about Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna, we said they all are the ones which are sustaining this entire creation. They are in and everything. Really, without gunas, nothing gets projected, nothing gets manifested, nothing gets created. So every aspect that we are seeing outside are with the three gunas. So here the prana is being equated to the three gunas to say that you are the one who is everywhere. So if I am able to exist here in terms of the senses or the mind, etc., all of that is nothing but prana. So prana stuti is being going on right now, as we said. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we saw in the last class. Yeah. Yada tvam abhivarshya
Yada tvam abhivarshata
themaha pranate prajaha Ananda Rupas Tishtati Tishtanti Kamayanam Bhavishyatiti. Okay. So here again, continuation of that particular prana's utilization is going on. O prana, when you cause the rain to shower down, these creatures of thy glory sit delighted, hoping that there will be as much food as they desire. So again, Gurudev, in a very poetic way, when his commentary is there, he talks about telling that despite all the aspects of the modern farming, modern aspects of getting out the production of food materials, really speaking, the only thing that gives happiness to the farmer is when he sees a rain coming down. Yeah. So if rains are not there, despite irrigation, it's very, very difficult for farmer to bring out the annam aspect which is there, is how this thing. And that particular prana, that particular ability for the rain to come down, he says is because of the prana. Now, if you see, Gurudev says that already sun was seen as prana before. Mm-hmm. And sun is the main reason for this monsoon season to come about as such. Like every other aspects in this world, sun becomes a very important energy aspect for these things to work. So it is because of the sun, the water is picked up from various water bodies into the cloud. And it is because of the sun that the wind starts blowing across at different places on the earth. And it is because of that particular sun the entire aspect of monsoon, the rain, etc., is possible because of the sun. So prana, in that way, is responsible for the entire aspects of this particular, this one is how Gurudev actually says. And prana himself becomes the rain, prana himself becomes the food, prana himself then a plant, and prana himself becomes the food aspects associated with that. So we say that prana is the one which is sustaining the entire creation in terms of the requirements for their food. Food prana talks about like that. Yeah. There's another aspect to this particular one, which Gurudev doesn't talk about, but there are others who actually, when the yoga, a yoga school of thinking is there, we talk about this Ananda Rupa Tishtati. So here we talk about Ananda Rupa is nothing but Anandamaya Kosha. Mm-hmm. So we have already seen in terms of other aspects this one there. So here, not only your Pranamaya Kosha, Prana is now being utilized as a Pranamaya Kosha with this particular question. He says it is this Anandamaya Kosha. At that particular level, you are Tishtati, you are there, and you are raining down your consciousness, you are raining down your aspect of the life-giving potency to all the chakras, all the koshas below you. So Ananda Rupa Tishtati Kamayannam. See, here it is very clearly talked about. Annam is not only food. It is that it can be translated as the food the jivas desire, or it can be said that it is the food in the form of the desires. Means what? Every desire-oriented sense objects becomes the food for each and every aspect of senses that are there. That means to say that the person, the prana sitting in Anandamaya Kosha as the Tishtati, gives the ability for all the below chakras. Chakras are nothing but desire-oriented aspects, koshas which are there. So Annamaya Kosha craves for bodily requirements. Pranamaya Kosha craves for sense-oriented objects. So Manomaya Kosha for joy associated with that and avoidance of dukkha. And so that becomes a sense object for the mind. Intellect becomes pride, that I want to be, I don't want my pride to get hurt. That becomes the sense object for the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is there. So all these are able to, these are able to do that. Anna, Kamyannam, when we talk about, it is the Anandamaya Kosha sitting there, is able to, is kind of a raining down the ability of sentiency to my entire body, and I am able to enjoy all this because of the prana situated in the Ananda Tishtati that we are talking about. Okay, there's another way of looking at this particular this one. So the entire Shabda Sparsha Rupa Sagandha are the type of objects I'm able to gain them because of the prana. That is how it can be interpreted as well. 11 we will read. We'll go up to 11:45 if you don't mind today. Vratyastvam Pranai Karshi Ratta Vishwasya Satpatihi Vayamadhyasa Vadhyasya, correct, yeah. Data Pitatvam Matarishva Naha. So here says, oh Prana, you are the Vratya. You are the Vratya, and thou art the sacred fire, Ekarshi, the consumer of everything, the good Lord of the world. We are the givers of the oblations, thy food. O father of the wind, Matarishva is father of the wind. Yeah? Thou art our father. So this is how the Gurudev is translating this particular this one. The idea of this term Vratya, Vratya term which is used in the very first word and this one. Vratya means Gurudev says as unbaptized one. Yeah. Means one, see, when we are, anything is born, the idea is the person or the thing which is born is impure. You go through a process to make it, make you pure. So the Shodasha Upacharas that we come out with, in case of males, there used to be a Janevu, this one, which is Upanayanam, which we call, becomes a baptization equivalent in terms of this one. Similarly, women also go through many aspects of that Sodasha, this ones which are there, samskaras. Every one of us go through, and each of them is supposed to purify you. Now, prana is being told that it is a unbaptized one, Vratya. So he is not purified at all. It appears like that, yeah. So suppose we say in Rama's rule, when Rama was ruling Ayodhya, there was no data. There is no giver at all in Rama's rule. They say like that. Then you mean to say that Rama's rule is so adharma that people are not there even to give? So they say that because Rama's rule is so great, there is no taker. So where come you get the concept of being a giver or a status of being a giver? So they say when Rama's rule, there is no give, there is no data only. So it is called Ninda Stuti. It is actually a stuti, but as if people will feel that they say, why he is talking like this? Yeah, Ninda Stuti it is called. Similarly, when prana is told to be unbaptized when he is never done, the idea is he is the original one. When I come into one, somebody is doing a samskara for me, there must be somebody who is above, who has gone through that process to do that to me. But I myself, prana being the original aspect in terms of this, he is the Prajapati, he is the very Brahman, he is the very creator who is there to do that particular baptization. So it's not, it's called Ninda Stuti. This is one of the ways how, poetically they say Ninda Stuti. So the prana being Vratya means that he is the original one. There is no need for him to go through this baptization. He can do for others. So you will have Vishnu doing that, this one to Brahma, because when Brahma is born, they say Brahma didn't know what to do. He is impure one. So the knowledge is given by the Vishnu in terms of the creation, the process, how it should be done, what is the individuals, how many jivas are there, infinite jivas there, prarabdha karma, everything is knowledge is given to Brahma. Then Brahma started creating this one. So Brahma got baptized by Vishnu in that sense. But if you go to Vishnu in that level, Mahavishnu becomes again Vratya, because there is nobody else to do that to him, so to say. Okay? So prana becomes a very perfect one, not impure one. He becomes the most perfect one when you look at it from that perspective. And this Ekarshi word is used. Ekarshi is a sacred fire. Again, in this particular Atharvana Veda, especially every fire has got a name. So if you are doing a yajna for using any of these Vedas, there are certain names that are given in terms of this. And Ekarshi is one of the fires associated with Atharvana Veda. So Atharvana Veda, whatever yajnas are prescribed in terms of Karma Kanda, one of the important fires name is this Ekarshi. Ekarshi is given. That Ekarshi is in the sense, every fire is supposed to take that oblation to a specific god. Yeah, Ekarshi has got that ability to take oblation to any of the devas you think about from Atharvana Veda perspective. Yeah, so that that is the one which says that consumer of everything and good lord of the world. And again, the question of with this wind aspect, oh father of the wind, Mate, thou art our father aspect, which is coming into picture. Yeah. again, from the perspective of your yoga, when we talk about the chakras, etc., Satpatihi is the word that is used here. In the first and last verse, Vishwasya Satpatihi. So Vishwa, when we talk about the three worlds that are associated with that. The gross world, the subtle world, and the causal world. So if you take that as a gross body, subtle body, and causal body associated with you, which defines your totality in you, Satpatihi is the lord of the seven chakras. The lord of the seven chakras becomes the prana, who is associated with that. And that prana, obviously, if he is the lord of all the seven chakras, automatically is the Vratya. So he is the first created, because without these seven layers that are there in terms of energy as well as in terms of matter. So koshas you take or chakras you take, he is the lord of the entire seven chakras associated with that, and he becomes the Vishwasya Satpati. The lord of the seven chakras becomes the Satpati. From the yoga aspect that we are talking about, he becomes the Satpati from that perspective. Okay. I think these are all kind of a pranamaya kosha, and all the senses telling that prana is now seen as everything, not necessarily a lot of the senses or the one power that gives sentiency to senses. It is being seen as everything, and the prana is the one which actually is sustaining this entire body. Question was that as to who is the Varishta. So the Varishta is being praised by telling this one. So if you see also the Gurudev's commentary, very small commentaries are there for each of this, because he says that this is just a utilization of the prana, so to say. We'll read the next verse also. Yeah. Yete tanurvachi pratishtita ya shrotre ya cha chakshushi ya cha manasi santata shivam tam kuru utkrami. So utkrami, go away. Ma utkrami, don't go away. If you remember, the story was that he was as if he was getting out of the body, and everybody kind of forced to get out. And they are now requesting that prana not to go away. Please be here only. So na utkrami, ended with that. O prana, make auspicious thy body, which abides in the speech, in the ear, in the eye, and also which pervades in the mind. Please do not go away. Yate tanurvachi. Tanurvachi, tanu is the body associated, vachi in the speech. So in the body, in the speech, pratishtita. So you be there established in the my body, my speech, my mind, and be available in shrotre, in the ear, nacha chakshushi, in the eye. So this, as I mentioned always, the 5 sense organs, jnanendriyas, and 5 karmendriyas are represented through a few of these. So chakshuhu, this one is in terms of your jnanendriyas. The speech is for the representative of all the karmendriyas. Be available for all this, and also all pervade through my manasa, in my mind as well, pervades. Santata, pervades. Shivam is calm and auspiciousness. So don't get agitated. Don't tap and go away. Be calm, and you stay. Establish yourself in my this, in terms of this prana is being praised. And indriyas now, they are telling, in short, they are telling that because of the prana that we are able to operate. Without the prana, the senses becomes kind of inert aspects. They are not sentient. The very sentiency is because of the prana is being again and again told. Because when we do again, as per the yoga, when you do a meditation on your pranamaya kosha, how you get rid of that aspect of pranamaya kosha, one is to say that the easiness associated with the individual senses should be dropped. In the sense that I'm a good seer, I'm a good listener, that kind of a pride has to go away. So there is one way to look at is that, as we said, all these pranas, all these senses are nothing but the very, the shabdas, the space, air. So elements are the one which are actually coming. You are able to see because of certain element. If you are able to hear, it is because of certain element. And the elements are common associated, nothing to do with my individual. So I adopt the pride associated with that. Second most aspect in terms of doing practically, if you want to do sadhana of overcoming this pranamaya kosha, what they say is to say that the sentiency associated is not really with the senses, but they are with the consciousness behind or prana behind. So you require to drop that to think to say that I'm able to see. No, you are not seeing. The seer is somebody different from you. And if you, even if you take pranamaya kosha not in terms of senses, but in terms of prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Let us say that way. So circulation is there. Prana is making ability, is able to do that. So I cannot have any aspect in terms of thinking that circulation is a sentiency that body is creating, and it is part of the body which is giving that. Because of me, that samana or udana or vyana, whatever is functioning. It is not, the sentiency is not in those aspects of 5 divisions that are there, but I am aware of my circulation. I am aware of the digestion. So they are physiological inert aspects that are there. All that is happening because of me. Me is nothing but the sentiency consciousness. So they depend on me, not me depending on them. Normally what we say, I am living because of my circulation. No, because of me, circulation is happening. Because of me, that digestion is happening. Not because they are happening, I am alive. I am alive, so they are happening. So that is the concept that we require to bring in when we do meditation on the specific koshas as such. We'll stop here. Only one last verse is there. We'll complete in the next class. Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
So it's like saying ShankarJi and Vaishnavan wrote that chapter 15, the one, we eat, but